Hello, everyone. Thanks for downloading this episode of the Nerdball Podcast. I am your host, Lorenzo Melcher, coming to you once again from the office of my lovely home. It is not snowing this time, but my face is still bright because it is bright and shiny, or sunny. All the leaves are officially off the trees, and it is going to start getting really cold, which, if anybody knows, I'm not a huge fan, but that's right. So most of my life is inside now. So even my new position, or my position at the Metroparks, it's more an office position, so I can stay out of the snow, out of the cold, unless my staff really needs me. So anyway, thank you. Like I say every week, thank you for always liking, sharing, subscribing, downloading to the podcast, doing whatever you can to help the podcast grow. It is very much appreciated. I'm officially over 300 TikTok followers, which is pretty sweet. I got over 1,000 followers on my personal page, so now I can go on to Instagram Lives. I was really upset when they changed it to 1,000 people, but now I'm there, so now I can go live, and the two of you that watch it can watch me go live. So thank you. Like, share, subscribe, any of that stuff. Follow us on all the social medias, and that's that. I don't have anything special for this episode because it's Thanksgiving, but I'm sure we'll talk about Thanksgiving stuff since it's coming up. So thanks again, and I hope you enjoy the episode.
Hi, I am Angela Vosatka, and this is the Nerdball Podcast.
This is the Nerdball Podcast with Lorenzo Melcher.
Awesome, Angela. Thanks for coming on my podcast. Yeah, you did great. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I was afraid.
For having me.
Yeah, I was afraid because you live across the country that it was going to be too early. But you're like, no, this is not even early.
I'm like, what do you mean? I've been up since 5 a.m. with 2 kids.
Oh my gosh, that's I don't remember. I mean, I guess my kids woke up early at some point. Now Mateo sleep. We have to wake Mateo up for a lot of things now. Because he's 14, and Lillian still gets up early, but she stays in her room until she hears somebody else. So I don't know what
You're giving me so much hope, because right now we are in the era where Marcy has been waking up in the middle of the night and slowly coming into our bed.
Yeah.
So she's sneaking in, and now she brings her stuffed animals and water along with her. She knows it's for the long haul. I'm like, I never thought we would be those parents, but we just want sleep. So we're like, whatever, get on in here.
Yeah, you think like as you're having kids, you think like, all right, well, how am I going to be, or what? I'm not going to do that, or I'm not going to be like this, or and then in the moment, whatever decision you make is the right decision, and you'll figure out that you'll deal with the consequences after that.
Exactly.
Well, Angela, the first question I always ask people is, what is something you nerd out about? A hobby, something you've always done, some new thing, something to just get away from your daily grind of living, whether it's with your family or just by yourself.
Oh my gosh, good question. I have hobbies that I want to get into in the next year, but right now, I guess my hobby is also my second career, which is photography.
Okay.
So super into doing that. The specific piece of what I'm really nerd out about right now are in-home sessions, whether it be newborn sessions or just in-home lifestyle sessions. That brings me a lot of joy these days.
What got you into photography?
Yeah, I guess it started when I was very young. So I come from a very big family in Toledo. Lots of cousins, aunts, and uncles. We are super close, have always been. We get together for every holiday, and then got to the point where we're even getting together every single week. So very tight knit. And my grandparents, well, my grandpa specifically, was very good at documenting these moments. So he always had the camcorder. Then when the digital camera came out, that was his new thing that he was super excited about. So he'd have the video camcorder on the tripod, then he'd have the digital camera going around, and he saved it on discs and everything. And then as I was getting older, I became the one tasked with documenting everything.
How,
So I go around.
how did that change occur? Was it just like, well, you just like did it one time and everyone's like, all right, Angela's the person now?
Probably he was like, here, take it, because I feel like he had other things to do that he's like, this is your job now. Make sure that you do it. I was finally responsible enough, I think, to hold something that was so expensive at the time where it's like, take it, run with it. So I became that person. And so then it became, when the era where we got a little more freedom and I was able to go out with friends. It was in college. I had the digital camera, right? And so I was the one, and there's always that one that at the end of the night goes home, plugs in their USB, uploads the entire album of the night to Facebook. And I'm like, I have to do this because it's going to bring people such joy. The memories that we don't even remember. So I was that person that was like, I'm taking every picture. We cannot forget any single thing. So it'd be like 200 pictures from, one evening out. So that just
those gigantic albums on Facebook, right?
Exactly. Where it's like the same, you're doing the same thing, just in a different corner of the bar. But it was I don't know. I just always did that. So it was always in my blood. And then it got to the point where people just started asking like, hey, can you take my cousin had a baby and she was like, can you take 1 year photos? Because I had a nice camera for school. So it got to the point where I was like, sure, no problem. And I enjoyed doing that. And then I moved to Denver in 2016. And in 2018, I started to really think about my passion for it. And I was like, I live in this beautiful state. Why am I not pursuing, taking better pictures of it more than just a cell phone picture? So I thought about getting into just landscape photography for myself. And then I realized that brought me zero joy because there weren't humans in it.
Yeah.
So it got to the point where I wanted to photograph humans with that backdrop. So I branched out and I registered my LLC in 2020, ran holiday mini sessions, and I still have clients from 2020 that somehow, because looking back at those pictures, they're horrendous, have stuck with me through all of these years. Thank goodness they still come back.
What did you? I'm sure you had conversations like, "Hey, I'm just starting out here. Like, what? Just
I
so
didn't.
you're aware."
I didn't.
Were these people that knew you, or they like your first people?
No, in 20.
Okay.
Okay, so no, not really. I had a couple of friends that were couples where one was engaged, so I did their engagement photos for free. And it was looking back, it was like 2 hours that I spent doing these photos that normally would take me like 45 minutes.
Oh,
I'm
sure.
like, wow, that was such a long time. But yeah, so I would do my friends' photos like that for free, but I'm like, I love doing family photos. And none of my friends had kids yet. So it was kind of the move of, okay, I'm going to run a few Facebook ads here and there with pictures that I have done. So they knew the quality was probably low and the price was set low too. But I just started, churning and burning, getting as many families for as much practice as possible. I took a few classes. There's a place called Denver School of Photography here. So I did a few classes there where they had you practice street photography and stuff like that just to get the whole lighting and mindset and all of that. And yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, because that is scary, right? To like, here's this new thing I'm doing now. It's a little less scary when you're not like totally 100% dependent on like income from it.
Totally.
But you're also like, all right, I'm really branching out here. These are strangers that are putting me in charge of their like family photos here, which aren't cheap and they don't happen very often. I even think about like my family. I think we took photos one time when Mateo was like 1, and then I think another time with you. I think, right? Did we do it with you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think those are the only times we've ever had family photos done.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm going to harp on Andrea, and you guys are getting some scheduled the next time I'm in town.
Sure. Yeah. But so it is like especially like, well, let's try this person, which I'm assuming that yes, they saw your photos, but at some point they may have talked to someone too. And like, word of mouth is always good. It's always positive. Hopefully it's positive, and that's
Yes.
what people want to hear. And they're like, yeah, well, okay, well, we'll give this person a shot. It's in our price range or maybe below our price range, so let's do it.
Yep. And I feel like that's truly how it's grown is through word of mouth.
Mm.
Like the families, some of my OG families, I mean, it had spread like wildfire where they have neighbors over, friends over, cousins, sisters, whatever. And that's how I get primarily a lot of my business are the people who are like, hey, my kid is crazy and so hard to photograph. And somehow she got great pictures of him
Uh,
while he was having a meltdown the entire session, So people who are hesitant too of like, why would I pay all this money to take photos when I don't know how my 2-year-old is going to act because he freaks out and
yeah.
it's going to be past his nap time or whatever. There's a lot of deterrents, but that is definitely one of them that you're investing all this money. You want to guarantee that the photos that you're getting are worth it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something where I feel like when they see and they hear, and they may know that kid where he's like, oh, wow, he's a tornado. How did she get those photos?
She's a miracle worker.
She's a miracle worker.
Oh, that's fun. Well, that's yeah. What is the name of? You have an LLC? So what's the name of your photography
Yes,
business?
Wildroots Photography.
Did you have like as someone who had to name a podcast? I had to help. It used to be it was me and a buddy of mine that did this podcast, but had to name something besides a child. Like this is a business that's going to be everywhere. Like, how'd you come up with that?
Well, I actually rebranded last year because when I first started, I I was AB303 Photography, and I started to loathe the name. I was like, I regret this so much. I feel like it was it was my initials and then the area code. So it'd be like me doing like AB419.
Yeah, yeah.
And it just didn't resonate with me. It had no meaning besides my initials, where I was like, okay, those aren't even my initials anymore.
Yeah.
I like I don't like seeing it. It didn't give the elevated feel that I wanted for my business. And it was just to the point where I was like, this is, it doesn't hit me.
Mm-hmm.
So I last year started really thinking about what direction do I want my business? How does it fit like what I feel are in my images? So Wild Roots kind of came to me because, it's children are wild, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as I described, I'm like, it's chaotic. Family photo shoots are always chaotic. You'll never know that from, the pictures that are produced from it, but it's chaos. It's wrangling. It's herding cats. It's making them, try to smile, laugh, have a good time with their family. And so that's the wild chaos piece of it. But then the whole piece of why you want your photos done and the
Mm-hmm.
importance of it is because it comes through the roots of your family. So this is your family tree. This is something that it's going to go down, like it's going to trickle down to be appreciated by more than just you. It's going to be everybody that's within that family tree. So after you pass, what are these photos going to mean to your grandkids, your great grandkids that are looking at the images? It's going to mean something because
Mm-hmm.
it's going to freeze that point in time. And now I'm looking back at pictures of my grandma, my grandpa, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my grandma at my age with 2 kids. And I'm like, I wonder what her life was like. This is cool
Mm-hmm.
to see her in the same chapter that I'm in. So I feel like those images just hold power within both of those pieces.
Yeah, and having all those pictures, like you're saying, like it's one thing. You know what I'm struggling with, and maybe you're not as much. I have so many photos that are just out on the internet or on my phone. I'm like, and I don't even know
Yes.
what to do, like what to do with all these because
Yes.
we used to have photo albums, and my
Yes.
parents and my grandparents had these things you can flip through. So every once in a while, I think about like, all right, my phone already separates everything into months and years. Where I get like once a year or something, just print a bunch of them off. But then what do we like? I don't know. It's just like it's just a hard thing to do with all
I
these.
I will say, so I thought the same thing. And I was like, me as a photographer, I think it's silly that I'm not printing the images that I have, right? Even the ones that I'm not taking with my great camera. What I started doing is using chatbooks because they have relatively fairly priced books that you can do. And I do a yearly album. So like, it's almost like a yearbook where you flip through and it goes chronologically, and you can upload to the app on the pages, whatever. And I do it like once or twice every other month or so. What happened in that month.
Oh.
So then I kind of review my pictures from my album on my phone, and I'm like, okay, August is in, I'm just gonna upload those, and they'll automatically kind of make a collage and whatever. So then by the end of the year, you're going through each month and you're like, oh, I forgot we did that this year. And I will say, if you put them in your living room, on your coffee table, whatever, people are going to look at them. Friends, family, whoever's over. Marcy loves looking at them. So it's great for little kids too, because she gets to see herself in a book. But it's just a nice thing to have and just to be able to flip through.
What's it called?
It's called chatbooks. It's all one word.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can do it on your desktop or your phone, but it's a lot easier on your phone because then you can just pop them in from your phone to do.
That's good, because that's essentially what I wanted. Is to be like, all right, here's 2023, and
yes,
and all those photos can get out of here. Like
yes, and it doesn't have to be like the random photo one-offs, whatever, but it can be like your highlights from vacation and whatever else. Because we had to print all of our pictures back in the day, but now we get to be and we weren't taking as many pictures too because we didn't have it as accessible. But I'm like, this is such a good way to just kind of go through and select the highlights of that month and stick it in there.
So this podcast is brought to you by Chatbooks.
yes, sponsored. Our number one sponsor.
You know what? You brought up digital cameras a couple of times. Did you know those are coming back? I don't know if you knew that, right?
Oh my gosh. The other night I went out with friends. Not even just digital cameras. I went out and I saw a Gen Z, and they were at the bar.
A Gen Z.
I have not been out in the city in a long time, and we had a mom's night out. And we all looked and stared. They had a disposable camera sitting on the table, in the middle of the table for their night out.
Yeah.
And I'm looking around like, that can't be right. What year is it?
Well, I coach high school sports, and last year I'm a freshman girls basketball assistant coach, and it was senior night, and like they were taking pictures with a digital camera, and I turned to one of the moms who I've coached both her sons in football, and this is their youngest, and she graduated last year. I was like, is that digital camera? She goes, it's such a huge thing now. Like everyone has a digital camera that they use. I go, really? That's so much work now. Like to have to take upload all that stuff. Yeah.
You know what, though? I think it makes it more intentional. I'm going to side with them because
I'm sure,
with your phone, you can take as many pictures, with the digital camera, you're not going to have that out the whole time. So those are the pictures that you're taking that are worth uploading, that are worth. So it's like, you might be onto something.
Yeah. Again, onto something again.
Yes, exactly.
We had at our wedding, we had disposable cameras at every table, and I love looking at that. We have that photo album where it's just all the people taking photos and looking back at it. And
I don't think that should ever die. I don't think that should ever die. I think that should always be on the center of every table at every wedding, because the stuff that they come up with is probably hilarious.
Yeah. Or when a child takes it and is just taking photos of everything, you can tell because every photo's like belly button down, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
you pay like $40 to get it developed, and you're like, thanks a lot.
Cool, Charlie. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah. I'll be billing your parents for that.
You mentioned a move to Denver, but previously you grew up here around Toledo. Have you is this where you were born, here?
Yes.
Toledo? Okay.
Flower Hospital, specifically.
Nice. All right. And you were here the entire time until you moved out to Denver, correct?
Yep.
When you were here in Toledo as a young Angela, what were you into then? Besides taking over the family photography business at some point, but
exactly. Before the Bergfeld family photography business is booming. Oh my gosh. I spent a lot of time. That was like when I was hustling. So I was working full-time job. I was working at Bar Louie Perrysburg. Shout out Bar Louie. Love his comments. This is ad is also sponsored by them. But I would work like 80-hour weeks. That was normal for me. But I did, I guess, have hobbies because you don't sleep in your 20s.
Yeah.
And so I really loved, I got super into running. Um, I loved running the trails at the Metroparks, not to give a nod to you. Um, but running the trails there, I started getting into just exploring the pockets of Ohio that people kind of take for granted.
Mhm.
Like I would do a day trip over to Cleveland to go for a hike. I would to Cuyahoga Falls, I think it's called National Park,
Uh-huh.
which is free to get into. I'm like, this is insane that these beautiful spots you can hike to beautiful waterfalls, exploring.
We have so many. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. We have so
No,
many
please.
park users that will come to our parks and be like, they're
Yes.
free because where they're from, a lot of their parks pay. You have to pay to get into the parks.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And being here now, it makes me realize the things, even more things that I wish that I would have done when I lived there.
Mm.
Like there, I wish in the winter time I would have done cross country skiing at Oak Openings. I feel
Yeah.
like that would be amazing. I feel like people should totally, winter can be so drab, right? But it's like if you dress warm, I know that you hate the cold. You just said it, but winter can be so drab that if you're dressing warm enough and you're it's so cool because then it's just you and nature and you're able to just have that lovely peace. And yeah, the metro parks are not comparable to anywhere that I've seen in the state of Colorado. How crazy for me to say that, but it's like, yes, we have obviously the national parks and all of that, but you're paying like $30. You have to have a reservation to get into that.
Mm.
And of course, beautiful mountain views, but I feel like there's something to be said about the uniqueness of the Midwest. And first of all, the water, because we live in a landlocked state now, but like having the rivers flow through the Maumee River, everything, it's just so beautiful. And I feel like sometimes I know that I didn't appreciate it enough living there.
Well, I don't think anybody ever appreciates their hometown. When you're
Yeah,
there, you're a
yeah,
kid. The one thing you want to do. I feel like 100% of kids want to leave where they're at. Like at some point,
yeah,
they're just like, I'm out of here. I want to be out of here.
yeah,
And that happens for a
yeah,
lot of us. And for me, I didn't. I lived in Toledo when I was younger. Moved to Perrysburg. Lived in Toledo again for a few years when we had Mateo. Then moved back to Perrysburg. So this is where I've been. And I also I see the need. I see why people want to get out, especially as they get older. They want to see other things, and it's cool. But it does, like you said, it makes you appreciate where you're from. In some cases, depending on how you live, you're like, no, I don't want to ever go back there.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not for me anymore. But yeah, it is to hear like, yeah, the metro parks are great compared to other places. And at one point in 2020, we were voted number one park district in the country. So like it is
yeah.
seen by other people, and so I'm sure people will love to hear it too, because a lot of people voted for us and use our parks and everything, and we're only getting better.
Yep,
So yeah.
yep,
Did you have
totally.
a favorite metro park when you were here?
Oh my gosh. Oak Openings is always my tried and true. I feel like the sand dune area is so cool.
Yeah.
Even now with our kids, when we come back to visit, we love going to, there's probably multiple playgrounds, but the playground by Mallard Lake,
Yep. Yep.
so cool. My daughter loved it. I love it. It's so unique and just awesome. So we love going and visiting that one. But in my 20s, towards the end, when I was running, I started to really love Wildwood.
Oh yeah.
And I love the mansion at Wildwood so much. So there's a mansion in my town now. And I toured it recently with my daughter because it looks like a castle. So we went through and she was super excited about it. But I had to ask them, I was like, do you decorate for the holidays? And they don't do like the themed rooms like Wildwood
Oh yeah.
does in the winter. So then I tried to start making suggestions as if they're going to change it from some random girl. But I was like, yeah, so in my hometown, this is what they did.
Oh, that's fun.
We'll see. We'll see if I can bring it out here. But
We do it for Halloween too.
Oh, you did? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah, do all the
Oh,
different rooms and stuff. I had actually the guy that's on the podcast next week. He worked in or like volunteered in one of the rooms as like a mad scientist or something. I can't remember, but
oh my
yeah,
gosh.
people love that, and you could definitely see in our visitation during those months when it goes way up. But
Yes.
next time you're out here, you got to come to Glass City where I'm at. Depending if you come during the winter, there's ice
Oh,
skating, and then if you come during the summer, we have a bunch of water play and stuff too. So
I have seen because a lot of my friends who have kids and they do birthday party. You can't you rent a room or something for birthday parties?
yeah,
Or
they're called cabanas, and they're yeah, just like little
amazing.
yeah
So cool. It's
yeah.
there's so many things on my list whenever I come home. I'm like, okay, I know that I need to see people, but then I keep seeing all of these
You should
cool
just tell the
spots.
people to meet you at these cool spots.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know,
like, you have to come here. Yeah.
two birds, one stone. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. You're right. You're right.
Oh, I growing up, Wildwood was always the park that I went to because we lived over there, and that's where my school would have like cross country practice or whatever. So I'd always go there. I didn't even know any other parks existed. I've said a lot here on
Yeah.
podcasts. It took me like I got a job at Providence Metro Park, and that
Hmm.
was the day before is when I first went. I was like, all right, I should probably know where I'm going before I before I
Yeah.
show up my first day. But yeah,
Yeah.
the Metro Parks are great. Obviously, people really love them, and we're still building a lot of stuff along the river. Our river walk is I don't know maybe half complete by the spring. This spring will be half complete of our 5 miles that we want to do. So it's really cool. It's yeah, like I said, next time
And
you're in town, yeah.
The Riverwalk is connecting from Grand Rapids to Waterville, or where is that
No, this
connecting
is
to?
downtown. This is
Oh, this is got it, got
yeah,
it, got
this
it.
is Glass
Okay.
City. Yeah, so it's connecting.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with Middle Grounds Metro Park.
Yes.
Yep. So that's basically like one
Oh,
end
that'll
of
be
it.
so cool.
Yeah, and you can walk 2.5 miles on each side of the river. We use the bridges that have sidewalks, the bridges to get over the river. But yeah,
Yep.
it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, I mean it's great
Oh
now.
my gosh.
But there's a couple of new areas opening up in 2020 spring of 2026 that we're excited about. So there's
Oh my
always new
gosh.
stuff coming online. Yeah.
That I feel like downtown Toledo is just, I've seen it was starting to become revitalized when I left, but there are so many cool things that are popping up. That's another, the food in Denver, not great.
No,
In Toledo, oh my
not
gosh,
great.
the food in Toledo is so good. Like that is another thing that I miss. The atmosphere, just the community. I feel like everybody like comes together and just if you are from Toledo, like even out here, majority of people that live in this area are not actually from Colorado.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of them are from the Midwest, and there are so many people that I know that are actually from Toledo that I did not know there. I met out here,
Oh,
and
okay.
every time we're like, "Oh man, don't you miss this part about it?"
So, what was your favorite restaurant to eat at here?
Oh my gosh, I don't want to tell you because that part's embarrassing because it's a
What
chain, but I
like
will.
like Sabaro or
Oh no, it's I don't know if it's better or worse. Every time I come home, I have to eat at Bob Evans
That's
because
okay.
we do
No,
not
that's
have
fine.
one
That's
out
fine.
here. Okay.
Look,
Like
look.
technically it's not Toledo based, but
If you don't have a Bob Evans and I mean, in
it
high
is,
school during football season, we'd go there every Saturday after football practice. Like it
yes,
is a
it's
thing. You
so
like,
underrated.
yeah,
If you
yeah.
are not eating the wildfire chicken salad with an extra piece of chicken and an
Uh,
extra boat of dressing, you're doing it wrong.
that's what we haven't been there in a while, but I feel like that's what Andrea has gotten before.
Oh no, I know that because I used to pre-order. I know her order. But if I will focus on local too because I feel like that is very important. And
Look, this is
oh
about you.
gosh,
So you say what you
I
want to
know. Well, I could talk. This whole podcast could be about food that I need to eat on my list when I go home. Casino de Carlos, incredible,
say. Yep.
incredible
We just
Mexican
went there
food.
2 days ago. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's
Yeah.
so good. And then
You know what's fun?
Swig
You know
too.
what's
I
funny? Oh,
really
Swig.
miss
Yeah,
Swig.
Swig. You know what's funny about
Yeah.
Casino de Carlos? There's the food we always get there. It's called fajones, and it's basically just a mixture of peppers, onions, meat, and then they put it on a bed of rice. And then
Yeah.
I asked my parents who are Mexican. I was like, Dad, what's fajones? He's like, both my parents like I have no
I have no
idea. I
idea.
think it's made up. I mean, they don't know every
Oh
Spanish
my
word, but
gosh.
they had no idea what it was. Yeah.
They're like, yeah, they just threw that one together.
But yeah, you were saying yes. Swig is good downtown. Yes.
Love Swig. I
Yeah.
love, oh my gosh, Stella's. Really just anything downtown Perrysburg. I miss
Stella's
living in that area.
Stella's is closed now.
Stop.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I guess that's one thing to take off my list.
Yeah. I
Is
think.
there anything going in place? I'm so sad.
I think I saw somewhere at one point there was like a just some sort of pop up shop. No, not, but I don't know
Okay.
for sure. But yeah, that closed. I think from my understanding, they were just done. Like it wasn't like a
Ah,
um like they needed to close or whatever, but they were just done. I'm trying to look it up right. Yeah, in June it closed. They were there
oh
for
my
I didn't
gosh.
realize they were there for 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. RIP, Stella's. You were something. You know what,
Yeah.
though? This podcast is sponsored by Zingo. So head to Zingo's and Stella's is closed.
This is the most sponsorships this podcast has ever gotten.
I'm giving you
Uh,
sponsors.
that's fun. Yeah, let's. How about we don't? Yeah, don't give me the restaurants that are closed. I don't think they can pay me any.
Yeah, Stella's is not sponsoring this podcast.
Oh, that's fun. So what makes the Denver food not as good? Or is it just your area, or is it just anywhere around there?
My area, we live in a suburb that's like 30 minutes southwest of Denver. And there is some type of rule that you have to have at least like two successful other restaurants to hold a restaurant in this town.
Okay.
Which really stinks because you're not getting the unique ma and pa restaurants or
Oh,
like
I
ice cream, like a
understand.
lot of the unique.
Okay.
So a lot of it's chain in this area. If you get outside and you go into Denver, it's fine. I just feel like the food isn't authentic.
Yeah.
And it's just very, I don't know. If you're going out, it's just not I mean, it is expensive, but like it's just very like small plate. You're not getting a lot of bang for your buck. The flavor isn't there. It's just like, okay, do you want, a vegan
Yeah.
burrito? Here you go. And it's like
Yeah.
the most bland thing that you've ever had in your life. Not to knock, there are some good restaurants, but I'm
I'm
like,
sure there are.
it's
Yes,
just
but
not
I
the
mean,
best.
but you're right. You have to make a day to be like, all right, I'm going to drive 35 minutes into the city. We're going to go to this one specific
Yeah.
thing. It's probably hard to park. Like all these other things
Yeah.
are like
Yeah.
had to deal with. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a. I mean, I understand why the city, I would imagine, made that rule. It's like, okay, well, we don't want people coming in restaurants and then them closing 6 months later or whatever. And now we have this building that it's just there. But
Yeah.
you are really restricting certain things that could pop off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Totally. So
So
it's a
so why
bummer, but maybe they'll change it.
why'd you just run for city council and then you could
Yeah, sure.
you can give
You
it
know what? Now's the time. Now's the time to get into politics. Get me in. I would love it. No
just
stress there.
use use whatever gumption you had at that mansion to say like here's what you should do. Just go to a meeting and get on. You can become you can get on TikTok by just being really crazy at one of these meetings and then wear
There
your
we
shirt.
go.
Yeah, wear your shirt, your photography shirt, and be like, look at this girl.
Here we go. Oh my gosh. I would like to opt out of that suggestion.
Well, why'd you move to Denver? Because I feel like whenever I feel like, let me start this. Most of the times when I have friends or people that I know move, it's like, it's, I don't know, everything seems okay. So when people are like, hey, I'm moving, like, what? Like, I don't know. I always feel like when people move, it has to be for some drastic reason.
Yeah, I feel like some people assume that you're moving because you're like, screw Toledo, I'm getting out of
Yeah.
here. And I didn't have that sentiment at all. I love, or they're like, I need to get away from my family. And that was the opposite. That was like the thing that I felt was holding me back the most is my family, because I knew that it was going to be a big piece of my life that wasn't
Mhm.
going to be so constant as it was. My big reason for moving was I felt like I had hit a plateau in my life where I had grown to the maximum that I could in that chapter.
Uh-huh.
And I had the luxury of being able to rely on my family. You know, my uncle's a mechanic. Everybody had some type of niche within my family to be able to help with something. And which was great, but I was never thrown to the wolves. And I feel like that's personally what I needed to become a better person, to grow as a human being, to just kind of take that space for myself and adventure and, just test it out. So that's when I made the jump. And actually, initially, I gotten a job offer in Charleston, South Carolina, because that's where I thought I wanted to move. And I got cold feet and I was like, something doesn't feel right. I'm not going to move. So I held off. And then the following year was when I was able to get a job offer out in Denver. And it was like, no questions asked. I knew I was going to love it. Let's go. I was going out there twice a year anyways to go snowboarding. I was familiar with it. I had a few friends already, so I knew that I would have somebody that I could at least room with to save on rent. And it felt a lot more comfortable, where I had some familiar faces. And so I made the jump, and yeah, here I am.
So you moved out there by yourself?
Yep. In a two-door hatchback, my my dog in my back seat. I had to sell like all of my things, except for what fit there. I shipped a couple of boxes out of just like, I must have this. But yeah, we loaded it up. One of my friends drove across the country with me for accompaniment. And yeah, it was wild. I slept on the floor in a sleeping bag when I first moved out here. It was bare minimum.
What was your job when you moved out there?
I worked as an admissions director for a skilled nursing facility out here.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Because I couldn't remember if you still worked with like Andrea, or when you went out there, if it was like the same work, but just with somebody else.
Same work, different facility. Yep. And then I quickly was promoted, which was cool. But I feel like the work ethic in Toledo is a little different than out here too, where it was like, oh, she's actually hustling and like she is on it. And I was trained under Andrea, who is the best. Not to this podcast is sponsored by Andrea, but she's another one. She was a great mentor, great leader, where I feel like I learned so many ins and outs. So when I went out there, I looked like a pro. So they were like, okay, you need to be a hospital liaison instead. So then I moved up to that. So
Did you come like, I know at some point I feel like Andrea had either called you or you worked with her again at some point.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes, this is true. I was doing centralized intake remotely for the Chicago market.
Okay.
Which again, it's very interesting now and eye-opening to see the different markets of skilled nursing and the care. Some of the rules and regulations are the same.
Yeah.
But man, it's just crazy state by state how some of these things vary. Where Chicago market, I was like, you know what? This might not be for me.
Yeah, and it's good to recognize that, because you could like just like, well, it is what it is, and I'm just gonna slug through, and I don't like it. It's terrible,
Yeah.
But to be able to recognize that and say something about it, and
Yeah.
And if you have good people around you, and they'll recognize that too. And either they'll be like, okay, well, we have this other opportunity, or okay, well, I'm sorry, that's all we got right now.
Yeah.
And that's any job, really.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And now I'm in the home health hospice sector of things. So that's like apples to oranges for skilled nursing. I love that side of things.
Good.
It's unique and interesting. So.
And you have 2 children now?
2 kids.
Yeah.
Yep.
How is that for you? How was that for you being having 2 kids? You work from home, or do you go?
I go into the office like 1 to 2 days a week.
Okay.
And then I work from home the rest of the time. So I am very lucky to have that hybrid
Yeah.
schedule, I think I might lose my mind with trying to time pickups, drop offs, and all the things if I did not have that luxury.
Yeah.
And I realize that it's a luxury too, but oh my gosh, yeah, it's the only way that I'm making things work right now.
That I mean, same for us. Like I go to the park every day, but Andrea works from home to be able to, like it's nice to be able to like I'll take this call from the car while I'm
Hmm.
waiting in line to pick up our kids or whatever. We are
Yep.
like anxiously, at least I am anxiously awaiting and also kind of scared when Taylor turns 16 in less than 2 years, so that he will be able to like get places and pick up people and
Yes.
that kind of stuff. So
Yes. It's like a double, it's like I see the advantages, but
yes.
also I'm never going to sleep again. I'll be too worried.
As soon as I turned 16, my dad's like, all right, on this day you got to pick up your sister and then you got to take your other sister over here. And like, so I remember being at my friend's house and like, all right, I'll be back. Like, where are you going? I was like, I got to get my sister from softball and take her home. I'll be back in 20 minutes.
See, I was
But
the younger sibling, so I was the one being
uh
picked up where I'm like, this is great. My sister's picking me up instead.
I think it's funny too because my youngest sister Martina, her taste in music is a literal mixture of my brother, myself, and our other sister Misty. Because
It's
like,
because of the pickups. Yeah.
yeah, that's all it is. Because
Yeah,
she get in the car,
totally.
listen to whatever we're listening to, loud as hell because we
Yes.
didn't, so no one's talking to her, and then
Oh, yeah.
drop her off wherever.
So good.
All right, so when you move, did you ever regret your move to Denver when you figured out the food sucked?
It's a great question. I don't think that I realized that the food sucked until
Until you could
like a couple
afford the
years
other type of
ago.
food.
Until I could, yeah, yeah,
I guess
until I
McDonald's
knew
tastes the
better.
same everywhere, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like the food scene was outweighed by the advantages of the views and the
mm,
things to do. Like there's always tons of things every single weekend. There's something to do. You're sandwiched in between, like I'm sandwiched in between two cities. One is like a family friendly, it's called Castle Rock. And that is where it's like a suburban city, I would
okay.
say loosely. But that's where like a lot of families are. So there's always stuff that's going on there. They have a cute little downtown reminiscent of like a downtown Sylvania or downtown Perrysburg with shops and restaurants. Um, and then you have Denver if you wanted to go into the big city. So you can take your kids to like a hockey game. You can take them to, football, whatever it is. There's always something going on. And they have tons of kid friendly events too. So it's just cool that that's all an option. So I feel like that can outweigh. And, now I just get to cook at home a lot. So
What do you guys like to do as a family? Like what's like if you're like, all right, this weekend we have a free day and this is what we're gonna do because it's like one of your staples or something that you guys always do.
yeah. We love there's actually so we have a really great community of friends here where they all have kids in similar age groups. So we usually just connect with them and we'll find something to do. And I feel like it really varies. There's not like a set thing. The only thing that comes to mind that's pretty similar, especially in the spring, summertime. There's this German restaurant where the food does not suck.
All right.
And it is this podcast is sponsored by Prost in Highlands Ranch. It has it has really great broths, mac and cheese for the kids, whatever, but it's got an open space for the kids to run around.
Oh,
So
nice.
that's where we like to go, is like where we can have, maybe a beer or an appetizer, whatever, and there's live music and the kids get to run around and play. There's another restaurant that's like 15 minutes outside of it, Breckenridge Brewery. And that one it reminds me of Twinos Brewing. Not as
Okay.
cool aesthetically, but it's like a farmhouse style and it has that huge yard where kids can just run around everywhere and there's picnic tables and kids can be kids, but then adults can actually catch up and talk about all of the things. So that's usually like our favorite items. But then now that Christmas holiday season is up, we have all of our traditions and things that we like to do for that too. So we're booking all that out.
Yeah. How often do people come out there and visit you? Do you get your because you are
I
you are a family person like you said, so you get your family feel as much as you'd like? Probably
Um,
not, but
no. My family needs to come. If they are seeing this, you need to come visit me more. Everyone. I am surprised because I thought moving out here that I would, I would never see them again. But I've definitely had family come visit me. My sister doesn't come as much as she should, but I get flying with kids is not fun.
Mhm.
And I go back, once, sometimes twice a year anyway. So I see them all then. A couple of my cousins have come out a couple of times to come visit. We actually, when my sister got married, we had her bachelorette party out here, and that was so fun because my aunt and all of my girl cousins came out. We rented a home in the mountains, and it was amazing. I would like that personally to be like an annual
Oh
event,
yeah,
but I feel
yeah.
like can't get my family on board with that, which is fine.
You know what's worked for us? We've the 2027 will be the third time we've done it, but we started in 23 where we take a family trip. My family here, and then my parents and my sister, and we just go somewhere. And I think we went to Austin the first time, then we went to Sedona last year, and then we're going to San Diego in 2027. So like every couple years. So maybe do that. Maybe every couple years, like, hey, let's just plan this thing.
Now that would be well and fine, except my family, I want all of them. So I want like my 30 something cousins, all of their kids, my aunts, my uncles. So it's like, it would be renting out for like a wedding party and the respective guests that would be there. So it would be a large family reunion every time. That would be my dream.
There are some
But we
really cool Airbnb places that are like,
oh,
here's the main house with like 10 little houses around it.
yes,
Yeah.
that is my dream. One day, I'm gonna get everybody on board. I'm gonna force them to all get together. We're going on a fun family trip.
Here's what I learned: if there's someone that's willing to do all the planning, you're likely to get more
See,
involvement.
I am that person.
Yeah.
My family jokes and they call me, a couple of them call me the family glue, where it's like, especially when I lived back in Toledo, I was like, okay, we're going to be doing this. I have like, the group text message. Even now, I mean, how many years have I been living out here? I'm still getting calls and text messages from my family for our get-togethers that I'm not even going to, saying, hey, can you start a group text for Thanksgiving and let them know what time it is and all of this? I'm like, okay, you got it. My husband thinks it's insane because he did not come from like a very large family. And so when he came back, we went back for Thanksgiving a few years ago, and he walked in and there's kids running around and,
Yeah.
so many people. And he was like, wow, that doesn't give you anxiety? I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What?
That's I mean, most of my family lives in Texas, but we would have our holidays up here, and it was my parents were the ones that had kids, and after a while my uncles did. And but the same thing, it's like running around, whatever, like, all right, let's eat for 10 15 minutes and then go back running around.
Exactly. We got things to do.
Yeah. Well, Angela, I won't take up any more time. I know you probably have kids waiting in the wings for you to be done talking to me. So I do appreciate you coming on here. Andrea usually asks me who's coming on the podcast, and but she was running out. Her and her mom Lillian are going somewhere, so she didn't ask. But I'm sure she'll be delighted to know that it was you. So thanks again for coming on here. It was awesome talking to you, and best of luck with your photography.
Thank you so much, Lorenzo. I'll talk to you later.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for downloading this episode of the Nerdball Podcast. If you want to reach out or be on the show, just search the Nerdball Podcast on any social media. If you want to email us, that is thenerdballpodcast@gmail.com. And of course, there's always YouTube, so you can go on there, subscribe to the Nerdball Podcast, and watch the podcast every week. As always, thanks to Real JP Multimedia, Cuddlefish Graphics, Big Daddy Graphics, and Perrysburg Junior High STEM Lab for always supporting the podcast. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.